Johnny and Claire, so tell me, when did you find out you were having triplets?
We had an early scan. I remember sitting there at the appointment and just listening to the consultant say, do you want to hear something interesting? And then he said, it's twins, there's two in there. And then before we had a chance to recover from that, he said, actually hold on a minute. And he moved around, and then he said, actually it's three, it's triplets. I think at that moment, I don't really know that we knew what was ahead of us, but we were obviously delighted that we could see the wee heartbeats and everything, and see everything going on. I think from that moment forward we've just had to take every day as it comes.
And what about you, Claire? What did you feel whenever you found out you were having triplets?
Yeah, I was definitely very shocked. I wasn't really sure how to respond. I think one of my first responses was, I'm so glad my mum's retired. I also was shocked at Johnny's response, how composed he was. He asked really sensible questions like, are they identical? Whereas I sort of just lay there completely shocked, but really delighted and excited about the news.
And coming up to the birth, when did you realise you weren't going to go full term?
We were made aware pretty early that full term for triplets is around 34 to 35 weeks. And as Johnny said, throughout the whole pregnancy we were sort of taking a step at a time, and as we got closer and closer we were delighted we got to that stage, and obviously it was better for the girls the longer that they waited around until they were born, but it got to a point then finally that they were ready, and they arrived slightly earlier than anticipated.
And how shocked were you when you were told it was triplets?
Oh yeah, I was super shocked as well. I suppose like what Johnny said there, it was just not knowing how to respond, being totally delighted, but also like the practicalities come into your head. Things like I only have two hands. What do we do with the third one? But yeah, totally delighted about it, but surprised, and I guess it really hit us when we looked at the statistics of how many triplets were born in Northern Ireland, which was the day after we'd heard about it, and we realised how rare it was. But yeah, super excited and shocked, I think.
Needless to say, I was delighted that I was going to be daddy to three triplets. We later found out that it was going to be three little girls. And for both of those occasions I was glad I was sitting down, because it was definitely a pleasant surprise.
And how composed were you during the birth?
The birth was all very calm, apart from the fact that there were well over 20 people in the theatre, and we know that some students were looking in through one of the windows as well. Apart from how busy and crowded the room was, the staff were fantastic at making sure we were involved, that we knew everything that was happening, that I knew what was happening to Claire whenever she wasn't with me, and just managing our expectations. They were very good. I think even whenever the children needed to go into intensive care, the way that the staff informed us and made us aware of all of their needs and how they were being helped, and then also brought us into the care as the infant's condition improved and as our skills became a wee bit better. I think the quality and the support and love and care of the staff has really made it the experience that it's been.
Okay. And Claire, how did you feel during the birth?
I guess the timing of that was a shock as well. We had been provisionally booked in for the girls to be born on Friday, but they had different ideas, and they decided on Wednesday morning it was their time to arrive. So it was all a big rush on Wednesday morning, and we sort of worried that we might have to go to a different hospital. Just we'd been warned it depended on the availability. It depended on the availability of cots here in the Ulster, so we were aware that we might have to go somewhere else. So I guess we were delighted that we were able to stay here, and just really impressed with the speed of the team's response from arriving at the hospital to the girls being born. They didn't leave much time, but the team here reacted really quickly, and we were just really thankful for that.
Okay. And are there any triplets or twins in the family?
My younger brother and sister are twins, so my mum had the 4 of us under 4, so she's got good practice, and she's signed up to move into the spare room when required.
And what's it like to go then now as a couple to a family of 5?
I think it really hit us whenever we got a card from family and friends that listed us out, you know, to Johnny, Claire, Libby, Evie and Annie. I think at that stage whenever we saw the names all in a wee card as a family that was just receiving post together, I think that really warmed our hearts, and it's lovely. We haven't really got used to the idea that there's 5 of us yet, because the other 2 have been getting intensive and then special care, but I think whenever we get them home we'll have a whole other wave of emotions whenever we have to get to grips with the highs and lows of all the feeds and changes and washes and doing all the laundry, but we'll get there and take each day at a time.
And how did you know there was another couple expecting triplets?
We had been to one of the twins and multiples evenings here in the Ulster, and we've become aware then that one of the other ladies there was expecting triplets, and then this week then all the staff were talking about the fact that another lady had delivered triplets just the day before our 3 girls arrived, so it seemed to be a big novelty and something that doesn't happen every day or in quite a number of years here in the Ulster.
And just describe the moment you held your daughters.
Oh, we were just totally overwhelmed. I just lay there with the tears rolling down my face. I had thought before, like, I'm not sure how I'll respond when I get handed the girls, but just to hear their cries was just amazing, and we knew that they were well, and we got handed them and we could hold them then just before the teams took them off, and then 2 of the girls, as Johnny said, had to go to the neonatal ward, but it was just wonderful to know that they got here safely and they were in the right hands.
And Johnny, how did you feel when you held them for the first time?
It was really special. We got to hold them in theatre, which was brilliant, and then there was a wee bit of a gap between that and them getting out of their incubators, but from the very start we've been allowed to be hands-on, even when we weren't holding them and cuddling them. We were allowed to stroke their faces or change their nappies and eventually get into the feeding programme, so the staff have been fantastic at bringing us along in that. I think emotionally it would have been very difficult if we couldn't be involved in that, and the staff have been really supportive in bringing us on that journey.
And just finally, are you looking forward to getting home, and what's the first thing you're going to do when you get home?
First thing I'm going to do when I get home,
The dishes from Tuesday night.
the dishes, yeah, definitely. First thing I'm going to do when I get home is the dishes from the night before Claire went into labour. Made her a wee omelette with chips and she loved it, but
And Claire, what about you? What are you going to do when you get home?
Well, I think to begin with, I have mixed emotions about getting home. Like, I'll be delighted to have the girls together and us in our home as a family, but it's also really nice having the nurses here, and they've been an amazing help and support. So there is excitement and fear about landing home with the 3 girls. But yeah, I'll be looking forward to sleeping in my own bed and getting a nice cup of tea, hopefully hot, but I've been told not to have too high expectations of ever having hot tea again, so we'll see.